Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. And tonight, this is our legend segment. I'm your host, Bobby Butler. And this night, man, we have the legends of Delray and Boca here on this show tonight. We started out with my hero, 1968-69 Carver High state champions, Mr. Anthony Penn. We have my buddy who went to Boca High, played at the U. He also went to Florida State and became a coach under Coach Bowden. Had a great college coaching career at the University of Georgia, also at the U. Mr. Mark Rick. Mark, welcome to the show. And then we got my guys. Let me say Thomas Boot Smith from Carver Park, Delray Rock, Boca High quarterback, and Memphis State star. Welcome to the show, Boot.
Thank you, Bob.
And then we got Derek. They call him the boss man. One of the greatest athletes that ever put on a uniform in Palm Beach County. Played quarterback at Boca High, played safety at Oklahoma, and played for the Oakland Raiders. And then we got the baby of the bunch. But he's probably the biggest one in the room. Omar Jacobs, 6'4", 240 pounds. Atlantic High star. This guy can really rip the football. He can spin the football, ladies and gentlemen. Bowling Green star, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and had a great pro career. Hey, gentlemen, welcome all you guys to the show.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here, man.
Man, I can't believe I got all these quarterbacks on one show. This is amazing to me. And so let me start here because I'm the second oldest in this group right here. And so I just want to start with Anthony because Anthony was just such a great player and a guy that I looked up to. And really he's a guy who inspired me to walk to the position, man. When I saw him play it, I can remember like it was last night, Anthony. I can't, to this day, I was like, man, that's what I want to do. I want to do what that guy just did on that one play right there. And the rest is history. I became Anthony Penn in the streets of Delray, playing street football. And got pretty good at it. And so Anthony, let me start with you, man. Do you know all these guys?
I've heard the names. I've seen some of them. I talked to Derek a few years ago, briefly. My first time seeing them all. I've seen some of you on television, but never like this. I'm honored to be in this unique group.
Oh, man. But I tell you, we all honor you because, man, you're a legend. Let me say this about Anthony Penn, guys, real quick. Because when you think about the era he played in, running the football, Mark, was the thing back in the day, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to run the football. We're going to chew the football. We're going to throw when we have to, right?
That's right.
And when you look at his Carver High squad, man, when I tell you, he had some weapons on that team. Guys like Greg Dobson, Abraham Wooten, Pop Grover, Randy Strong played fullback. And then he had people like Barry Hill, Alfonso Blocker, Alfonso Wilson, Bobby guys pitching the ball. And he had a great tight end. He would be the modern day tight end in the NFL, a guy by the name of Billy Coleman. Maybe one of the best offensive players ever played there, right? And so he had a bunch of weapons. But I want to share something with y'all real quick. I want to let you know what kind of quarterback this guy was. The 3 years that Anthony Penn played for Carver High, Anthony Penn threw 557 passes. He completed 287 for 4,623 yards.
Wow.
That's
Hey,
amazing.
listen now, we're talking about 1968, 69, 67, right? We're not talking about Omar. Well, Omar's pretty much throwing the ball every down, right, Omar?
Almost
every down. Almost. With Greg Dobson, Abraham Wooten, Pop Grover. This guy was amazing. So I took my hat off to this man, and I'll tell you, more than a great football player, he's even a greater man. And so I love Anthony Penn. Every chance I can get a chance to talk with him or go home and spend some time with him, that's what I want to do. So Anthony, man, tell me about your time and tell me about some of the weapons that you had to play with at Carver High School.
Well, I was surrounded by some gifted players that made my playing easy. We was a passing team actually, but we had some fantastic running backs. But we had some guys up front that blocked. Without them, we couldn't have done anything. But we had a system where it was more like a pro. As a matter of fact, the same system I ran, we had in high school. When I went to Cookman, we had the same system. Coach Cy was and Coffee played together at Cookman. But we were just a family. You guys know that, and we worked together. We played together. We hung out together. But when we got on the field, it was like one big machine. We made sure if we were beaten, we weren't beaten by being fatigued or tired. You had to beat us. And we loved it. But I think one of the most important things was the community we had backing us up. We had a community from Boca Raton to West Palm Beach backing us up when we played. It was a lot of fun. Believe it or not, I never wanted to be a quarterback.
Really?
I never wanted to be a quarterback.
Wow.
I wanted to hit somebody. I had an attitude. I wanted to hit somebody. Sometimes about 100 pounds, 150 pounds soaking wet paint in all four pockets. But I loved it. I loved quarterback. I loved to read the defense. And I loved it was like a chess game.
Yes.
But I was surrounded by, we had some gifted players that I was fortunate to play with.
That's good. That's good. Well, I tell you, one of the things, a lot of y'all got something in common, and we're going to get to that question later on if one of you guys don't bring it up beforehand. But, well, let me just go ahead and do it now, right? So it's 6 of us right here on this show. And out of the 6 of us, this one guy touched 4 of us. He never coached me, but I always said he coached me, right? Because his son was my best friend. And so I spent a lot of time in his house on 13th Avenue Boot. I spent a lot of time over there. You over there, and then I know he coached Boot. He also coached Mark Rick, right? And he coached Roger Coffey.
Yes, sir.
For you guys, tell me, Mark, what Coach Coffey means to you.
Well, Coach Coffey got with me and said, look, if you're going to be my quarterback, you got to quit all them other sports. And, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
That's why I never played baseball.
Decided to quit basketball and be his guy, and then you had to come to his house. Look at that 16-millimeter film all day long, back and forth, back and forth. That film would just lay on the ground, and then he'd rewind it and do it again. But no, I love Coach Coffey. You know, Coach Coffey got let go right prior to my senior season, and we still don't know why. To be honest with you, but we were ready to boycott the season.
Wow.
We literally would not practice until Coach Coffey finally got a hold of us and said, "Look, you boys got to play." And so we listened to him, and we went ahead and played, and went to the semifinals of the state championship with some great players from Boca and Delray. But Otis Gray was the head coach, but Coach Coffey was the reason why we got where we got, as far as we were concerned.
Right.
But respect Coach Gray. We knew who got us there.
Right.
And just loved the man without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tom, tell me a little bit about you and Coach Coffey, because you barely were you with him just a short bit?
I was there just for a minute with Coach Coffey as my coach. But like you said, living on 13th, my grandmother stayed on 13th, and I was living with her for 2 years, and it was like every day I was at the Coffey house.
Right.
And Coach Coffey is the reason why I ended up at Boca, because I wanted to play for him.
Right.
So the spring of my freshman year in high school, I left Atlantic and went to Boca, and that was the time I spent with Coach Coffey as my coach, going through spring ball. So I got the tutelage from him on the field then, but he was always teaching football, even like you say, at his house.
Oh yeah,
Film running, and so I enjoyed it. I mean, I was blessed to even get that spring game.
Right.
And like Mark said, man, he set the foundation for that team. So.
Well, I tell you something, man. It's kind of strange with me because when I was a kid in elementary school, spent a lot of time at their place, watching Anthony and those guys play. And I never forget when we integrated in 1970. I was so disappointed that I wasn't going to get the opportunity to play for Coach Coffey, man. I can't tell you how disappointed I was. Not only was I not going to play for him, but I was never going to put on that blue and white and red stripe for the Carver High Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was, man. Anyway, but life goes on. But I tell you, being Larry's best friend, I spent a lot of time in that home, and a lot of things that he was about, I was still getting it,
Right.
but it allowed me to dream, guys. It allowed me to keep dreaming and working on my craft too as well. So Derek, you mentioned Coffey. You were how many years behind Tom?
Tom was a senior, I was a freshman, 3 years behind Tom.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this, because I know when you played for the Rocks, you started out more so as a running back.
Yeah.
How did you begin? What was your evolution of becoming a quarterback?
My first year playing for the Rocks, I was thinking like 9 or 10 years old on the 80 pound, and I played running back. And I probably was the third best running back on the team. We had Ed Phillips and we had a guy named Smith Quince, and then there was me. And Benny was the 105 head coach. Benny Leonard, Coach Leonard was the 105 coach, and he kept telling us, "Hey, you're gonna be my quarterback next year. You're gonna be my quarterback." We weighing in and stuff at the weigh-in. See, he's gonna be my quarterback next year. I said, "I'll play quarterback." Didn't throw a pass, didn't do anything on the 80 pound for it. Saying that I can play quarterback. So the next year I went to play quarterback, and for Benny, and we threw about 4 or 5 passes a game. Everything was a waggle, a bootleg type of deal, and took off from there. And then went to high school and didn't ever get a chance to play for Bob Mitchell. He was just yelling and screaming too much. I didn't get a chance to get with him. So I went to high school and played at Boca. We had a guy named Rob Montgomery came and took over as coach. I think Otis Gray left. I believe Otis Gray. And then Rob Montgomery took over. And, I think he was the head coach then, right, Boot?
Yeah.
And I was a backup. I was a freshman, and he put me on the varsity. He wanted to let me play JV, so he put me on the varsity, and I was boot backup. Boot backup as a freshman, and just a great man. He grabbed me and he straightened me out, man. He was the guy that I looked up to. He was sharp. He was charismatic. He was handsome. He went to college. He was always dressed to the T. He was real class act. Always drove fancy cars and trucks and stuff. And he was a real young guy. He was young, maybe about 27 years old. I looked up to him. I just gravitated to Rob Montgomery, and I looked up to him, and he looked out for me. He did everything for me. For speaking to the press, he was telling me what to say. For his football, he'll tell me where to go with the ball. Go with the ball here, now go here. It's going to be open, Derek. It's going to be open. I throw a little curl route or whatever it is. And he's just a great man. He was just a great figure. And I still talk to him to this day, man. Just a great man, just a great role model for myself. I said enough about Rob Montgomery, being 13, 14 years old, comes a freshman, when in high school, you can go left or go right. And I was one of those kids, probably, coming from the hood of Delray, probably went the wrong way. And I had a lot of time with him, man. Lots of time with Coach Montgomery. And I give him all the credit, all the praise in the world, man. Just a phenomenal man, just a phenomenal human being, just an extraordinary person, and a good football coach as well. So I do a lot about Montgomery.
Right. That's awesome. I tell you, it's amazing though how a lot of us, kind of was pulled out, so to speak, to play position. Now, one thing I can say about Boot though, Boot, when you was playing for the Rocks, I've never seen somebody throw a prettier pass than you. when you like on the 105, I mean, you were throwing that thing, you had a tight spiral to it, man.
Yeah.
That little cat, man.
We actually didn't start throwing it to about the 105. We didn't do anything, you know. So it was just drop back and throw it as far as you can, really. The only route you had was a go route or a fly, whatever we called it back then, and just we had enough athletic talent where 9 times out of 10 they're gonna run by whoever's defending.
Oh, absolutely.
And you just drop back and throw it as far as you can, and hope you know you don't overthrow them or underthrow them for that matter. How fast they were.
Wow. That's amazing. I always say, man, that young dude throw a beautiful ball. Now, Omar, you the baby of the group.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you the only? Well, I know Anthony didn't, but Mark did play for the Boca Jets. You didn't play for the Delray Rocks, right?
No, I missed out. I didn't play no youth football at all. And I tried out with Bump Mitchell. That was the 35 at the time. No, 120. It was 120.
Okay. All right.
And Bump Mitchell's coach, and I tried out. And I was in 5th grade. My mom didn't want me to play. I was one of the bigger kids. And you had all these other great athletes, Doug Parker, Terrell, and all these dudes that were like in 5th grade when I was just in 5th grade. When I was a bigger kid, and I said I wanted to play tight end and other stuff like that, but I got sick one day and I missed like a practice or something. I think I had like food poisoning or something to that nature, and they cut me. So, it hurt. It stung a little bit, but like I said, like anything, you learn from it, you grow. And I played baseball and basketball, so I couldn't dwell too much on the football part. And my mom was happy too, so she didn't want me to anyway. So.
I can't believe Barbara was happy.
Yeah, you know how the mamas are. They the only child,
right? So
to see that type of aggression, and like I said, I was younger. I was 10 years old. These other guys are 13, 14. Experienced football players. I mean, you're playing for the Rocks. This is not something that you just picking up and go and play. Like these guys been playing football since they was 7, 8 years old.
That's true.
And throw me right in the mix at 10 with some 8th graders that's going to high school next year. Was scared to her. And so like I said, I continued to play basketball, baseball, and excelled in those sports. And then when I had the opportunity to get to high school, there was no stopping me. And the crazy thing about it, I didn't even want to play quarterback.
Really? Now Anthony said the same thing.
Yeah. I like, because Coach Bean or Chris Bean, he was my uncle, so I watched him at the Thorne Cookman, and I heard about all you guys, and it's just like the thing about Delray Boca, it runs deep. The roots run deep. That's why you got the Roots Festival and all these different things, and you learn about all these great players that come through here. And it's just a privilege, like I said, to be amongst you guys, just hearing all the great stories. So, I really wanted to be like a DN free safety, because I watched my uncle do it,
right,
and I watched other people do it, and like I just had a natural act for just going to get the ball type thing, and so that's just where it really came. But my uncle knew, he's the one that really pulled me in because like he watched me play baseball, and I grew up at Atlantic. Basically, my mom taught Atlantic since I was 2 years old. So anybody from Jason Matthews to all these guys, and like I knew everything about Atlantic High School. So it was kind of like bred in me to be at Atlantic at that time. And I just kind of, Coach Bean was like, listen, man, Uncle was like, hey, you're not gonna be no DN, you're not gonna be this. Go over there and play quarterback. And like I said, I always threw the ball. I was a ball boy. Like Larry Fitzgerald, I was the ball boy out there throwing the ball at halftime and touching the ball on the field. That was me. And it just kind of was like, nah, we already know you can throw. Go over here, play quarterback, and learn this craft.
I tell you, man, when they called me, when you were playing, everybody kept calling and said, man, we got a dude, man, he can spin the football. He's throwing the ball up and down the field. And I was like, man. And so I just went online and just started looking at some of your college stats, man. Unbelievable. Mark Rick, listen to this now. Listen to this. Omar's first year, he was 19 and 28 for 345 yards, 4 TDs, no interceptions.
All right, good start.
His second year, he was 309 for 462 for 4,002 yards, 41 TDs, Mark, and 4 interceptions.
Wow.
And he had 95 carries for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He should have turned pro after that year.
Well, he came back one more year, 2005. You hurt your shoulder in 2005.
Right.
He was 195 for 321 for 2,591 yards, 25 TDs, and 7 INTs. Now, here's what I noticed about Omar. Omar did not turn the ball over.
No, sir.
Right.
And then the year he had in 2004, listen, 41 TDs and 4 interceptions thrown was the best ratio in NCAA history.
Yeah, I was going to say. He could.
Wow.
That.
He could have played for me, I'll tell you that.
So here's the thing. So Mark Rick may be the best college recruiter for quarterbacks of all time. I mean, you recruited some of the best quarterbacks of all time.
I missed Omar.
You missed Omar.
In your backyard.
And listen, though, that's okay because you were at Georgia at the time.
I might have had Matt Stafford. I don't
You
know.
were at Omar at Florida State.
What's the name? I think Shockley, DJ Shockley was around the same time I came out.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well, Shock was my man, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, DJ Shockley was played around the same time.
Yeah.
I think we came out the same draft year.
Okay.
So this is amazing, right? So this group of guys right now, we have Anthony Penn, to me, the best quarterback of all time, right?
Right.
Say he didn't want to play the position, right? And I saw him playing, and all I wanted to do was play the position. Now, follow me now. So he played. He did a great job in high school. He go to college. He put records at Bethune-Cookman. You know, he let it all out at Cookman. And then here I go. I'm in high school because I'm an athlete. They got me playing both ways, right? But all I wanted to do, Mark, was play quarterback. Right? That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to play DB. You know, I was in high school. I was over there, but I was over there. Well, when it came time to go to school, the only teams that recruited me to play quarterback were wishbone teams. I didn't want to do that. I go, well, that's like a slap in my face. Come on. You know, you can get a running back to do that, right? So because I made some plays, like my senior year was a crazy year for me on defense. I had 7 picks, 6 for touchdowns. Think about that, right?
Yeah.
So everybody in the country want me to play DB. So that's what I did, and that it worked out for me, right?
Oh,
Then
yeah.
Omar never wanted to play quarterback, and he goes and do all this crazy stuff in college in the Atlantic, and led his team to the semifinals of the state. And Mark, you led your team to the semifinals of the state. Anthony won the championship. I lost 2 state championships. You know, we're always striving for that. But some of you guys didn't even want to do it. And then me and Boss Man, and listen at this now. Boss Man, Derek Cruder, went to Florida at first, Mark, which he never should have done in the first place. They're the real enemy, right? But they didn't treat him right. That's what the enemy do. They don't treat you right? So he went to Oklahoma and he played DB.
Right.
He had a pro career with the Raiders, played DB. Now, here's the thing about Boss Man. He never played defense in high school. The first time he played defense, tell me if I'm wrong there, when you were in college.
Yes. When I got to Oklahoma, that's the first time I played defense.
How bad you want to be a quarterback? You want to be a quarterback, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I want to be a quarterback.
I'll tell you what, man.
Hey, man, I didn't have a choice.
And you didn't have a choice.
I couldn't play anything else.
I know, right? That was it.
That's it for me.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, it just, to me, it's amazing because, we can have our own plans, right? But the scripture says that God knows the plans that he has for us, right?
Amen.
He plans to give us a hope and a future, right? Not to do us any harm.
Right.
And sometimes when we make our plans, that's a good thing. You let the vision out. But you got to give God a little room to do what He's going to do in your life, right?
Amen.
And just take it. Because I remember playing for the Rocks boot, and I sat the bench when I was in the 8th grade, right? That thing hurt me bad, boy. It hurt right now. It hurt. Oh my gosh! But Red Odom every night kept asking me to play defense. Bobby, I need your help on defense. I need your help on defense. I didn't want to do it, and then I finally gave in. And what happened was I lost it.
Right.
And then as a sophomore at Atlantic, I'm starting free safety as a 10th grader, backup quarterback, and starting free safety. And then 2 years later, I think I'm an all-star quarterback, Mark. I think I'm ready for the big time. And nobody give me the chance to play. But everybody wanted to play defense. And I go to Florida State, and I'm an All-American on defense. And I get drafted in the first round and played 12 years in the league. So I think God knew exactly what I needed to do. Right?
Exactly.
He didn't want me to play quarterback.
You might have played 20 years if you played quarterback.
Yeah, if I did, I've been trying plays. That's how
That's the best job in the world, backup.
That is the best job in the NFL. Is trying plays. Hey, listen, guys, real quick. Let me ask y'all this question. All right. We're talking about the quarterback position, and we won a lot of football games between the 6 of us. We played in about 4 state title games between the 6 of us. We won 2. You guys played in a lot of semifinal games. Mark, you played in a semifinal game. I played in a semifinal game. Omar, you played in a semifinal, right?
Yep.
And so, we won a lot of games in Delray and Boca. And so let me ask you this, though. As far as being a quarterback, what are the natural gifts that you possess that you think made you a good quarterback? All y'all can answer that question. What were the natural gifts that you had?
I think a natural gift that I had, honestly, was a leader. I'm the second oldest out of 7 children, and the second boy, but I always was the big brother. And I just stood up and just took the lead and gave directions and taught and learned. But I always wanted to know everything I could on the football field, offense and defense, whether I played or not, because it was something beautiful to me when I played, and it was new. Right quick. I remember I never wanted to play quarterback. I wanted to be a defensive back. You wound up getting that. You guys did. But when we played Sandlot, they always had me playing quarterback. I don't know why.
Wow. See? Wow. See?
But I think my leadership, even when I got Cookman right off the bat, I took leadership. I wanted to take command, not trying to be bossy, but something to be done, I did it.
Well, that was your gift then. That was your gift, to be a leader. Tom, what about you?
I think the same thing, the leadership role. The difference between Anthony and Omar, I wanted to play quarterback because I couldn't play anything else. I mean, I wasn't fast enough to play anything else.
Join the club.
I mean, it was a leadership role that I had the opportunity to play for Coach Coffey for a spring, but Mark was our leader. He was the quarterback. He was the man, in which I learned so much in the spring and then that fall when Coach Gray came. But Bob Mitchell, I got an opportunity to play for him on the 130-pound team, and he's gonna make his quarterbacks be out front,
right?
And that kind of molded me. And I played baseball during the off season, and I was always the captain of that team, whatever team I was on. But it was it's that leadership quality that you have, and you're not gonna always. I'm not, I wasn't never the fastest, strongest, the biggest, but I wanted it. I loved the position. I really did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What you say, Mark?
Well, I could throw the ball. That helped.
He could. He really could.
That's for sure.
You know, I mean, you got to have the art of throwing the football is lost, I think, sometimes. But I was blessed in that I could throw the ball well, and you know, the leadership thing was important to me. I was the kind of leader that wanted to include everybody. You know, help make other people get better. I liked camaraderie. I love the camaraderie of the game. You know, Coach Coffey really taught me to love the game of football and all the little details of it. Just learn how to study, learn how important that was. But you know, I was just so thankful that I was a part of a Boca Raton team that you know that had the two different communities come together and have success and love each other. And it was huge. I mean, even Boca High was mending from some rough times, you know, and we won a bunch of games and kind of brought the school together a little bit, you know. And you know, football does that sometimes. It just brings people together that don't look quite the same or don't believe quite the same. And we always used to say, football don't care about your color of your skin or what you believe. They just care, can you do it or can you not? And I don't know. I just got a great camaraderie with all the guys from both cities, and just thankful to be a part of that.
That's awesome. Omar, what about you?
I think my talent was being I would call it like a counselor now. You know, just knowing my players, knowing what their strengths were, what their weaknesses were, and being able to like basically pull the best out of them and motivate them. And just, you know, because like I said, a lot of us go through different things in life and going on and off the field. I felt like a lot of those guys would come to me and talk to me about some of those issues, and just being a problem solver. You know what I mean? And just getting those guys to be comfortable. And because we had dudes that, you know, like to fight, like to, you know, you got the rowdy dudes.
Right.
And as a quarterback, you know, I wasn't very vocal at first because I never seen, when I came in, there was no senior, junior, sophomore, you know, as a freshman. I just came in and I was just a varsity starting quarterback. And I had never played a position before.
Wow.
So it was new, and I had to kind of pick up I didn't know how to be a vocal leader. I didn't know how to be out front initially. So I had to grow into some of those roles because we have vocal guys. So we had guys, you know, that even in college were like more like Ray Lewis type dudes. So I didn't have to say much.
Right.
So if you got Ray Lewis type guys that's firing you up, you know, all I have to do is really make sure everybody's in line.
Right.
And picking dudes up and make sure we looking up and not down. And whatever happens, I have to make sure I was that dude that keep everybody in line.
Right.
Like, let's go, man. Don't worry about it. That's one play. We're gonna need you the rest of the game.
Right.
And like I said, other than that, you know, my ability to you know, be accurate with the ball and take care of the ball. I just had a natural ability to be accurate and take care of the ball. Once you tell me something, and I'm going to do it the very best possible I can do it. So if you say, hey, quarterbacks, take care of the game, we do this, we do that, and that's what I'm doing.
Right. That's cool.
And I've always been like that on any baseball, basketball, whatever it was. If coach told me to take 2 steps, I'm taking those 2 steps because I don't want him saying nothing to me that I did wrong.
Right.
So I'm taking those 2 steps and I'm doing it exactly how coach told me to do it. So if coach says it's wrong, then I'm looking at coach like, hey, well then that means you're wrong too, coach, because I did it exactly the way you told me.
Right.
So, and I think that was my innate ability to take coaching,
right,
and to be able to get my guys to continue to play the whole game.
Mm-hmm. That's it. What about you, Derek?
I think my competitiveness. I'll tell you a story. What happened to me when I was a freshman at Boca High, and we was on double station. Boot them and come to school early in the morning. Then the freshmen and the sophomore come at 12 o'clock on. But since I was a varsity player, I was coming in the morning. Coach Montgomery got me a job in the cafeteria. I was working in the cafeteria, washing dishes, serving plates, doing that kind of thing. And we had a guy, I forgot his name, Kerry Wilson. Kerry Wilson, the Chili's was coming through the line, and I was putting the plates up on the racks as the cheerleaders and the other students, the juniors and the seniors, was getting their trade. And they say, so they were saying, we should have a great football team this year. We should have a great football team. They was asking Kerry Wilson, we got a great football team. So Kerry said, yes, we just lost Tom Smith, but if we get a quarterback, we're going to be really good. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him back up last year. So that kind of inspired me, man. That lit a fire under me. Mm-hmm. And, he started at guard for us. He started at guard for us. Kerry Wilson and little cheerleaders. That's what he said. And that lit a fire under me, man. And that just went from there, man. I was so competitive that I wasn't going to let the team down. So I felt like he said, if we get a quarterback, we're going to be good. And I knew I was going to be the quarterback. I knew I was going to be that quarterback. And so that just really inspired me, man. My competitor, I held everybody accountable, man. And I was one of them kind of guys that, I get in the huddle, and I can still call a play that Coach Montgomery called split right 75. It was a curl that said split right 75, block 2. It was a curl with the inside slot guy running the corner route. It wasn't 2 route. And he was the Y guy. And and I just get in the huddle and say, hey, come say, run it right, get right there on the right, on the route. I was one of those kind of guys. Then I call the play. Then I get in the huddle and dressed up, and call it. But I was one of those kind of guys. I was fiery, man. I was real fiery, but at the same time, I wanted people to depend on me. I always wanted to, ever since the Rocks. Right. I always want somebody to, depend on me, and I'm not going to let you down. I was a reliable guy, and I always helped other guys accountable at the same time. We had some fights in the huddle, and when I speak, it was, I was real fire, man. I was, hold their feet to the fire and hold them accountable. You do your job, I'm not going to let you down. And it was that way, man. It was that way. So that's what inspired me. That's what my biggest trait was my competitiveness. I'm going to win the next play. Right. I'm going to make it happen. At 16, I was a 4-4 guy. I was a 4-4 guy. I can run. I can throw the football, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Well, it's funny, right? Because I think about with me about leadership, and it had everything to do with moving a whole team, right? Managing everything, everybody on the team looking at you as a quarterback, and so that's a big responsibility, right? But I never forget Coach Wilder one day, the early part of my junior year. This was a moment for me, right? He said to me, after practice, he sent everybody up to the locker room. He said, I need to talk to you. I said, okay. I stay down on the field. He said, well, let me ask you a question, Bobby. He said, you the fastest guy on the team? I said, Coach, I'm the fastest guy out here. He said, well, how come you're in the middle of the pack when we're doing wind sprints? Okay. He said, then he asked me, he followed the next question. He said, well, are you my quarterback? I said, Coach, I'm your quarterback. He said, well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you'll lead up and be a great example to these guys, they'll follow you anyway. That changed my life. And so from that point on, I took it up. I took that lead roll up, and I led them, man. And I was quarterback to me. I expected the best. I would take the offensive line, mark over to the slave, and I'll do everything on a quick count. And they'd be looking up at me. I said, look, man, I got to get in shape. Y'all block for me on Friday night. We're going to get this done. And so I led them that way. And once they're in the game, I can say sometimes when guys are in the game, and they want to give me, I put them to the sideline. Get out. I'll be screaming across the mother. Send me somebody else in here. Send me somebody else in the game. Absolutely. But I was always easy going. I'm the same guy I am today until I put on the football uniform and we're doing our business, right? I was meeting those guys. And I tell you, I'll never forget it, Anthony. My senior year, I knew we lost the state title my junior year against Ocala Forest. Then my senior year, we lost to Bay High, Bay High in Ocala by 1 point. We were undefeated. The whole season, we didn't lose a game. We lose the state title game by 1 point. And I never forget my feeling that I was never going to do what Anthony Penn did. I never let my team win. And so I'll never forget that moment, knowing that I was never going to get the opportunity again to do what Penn did. But I came close. Right? I came close. Hey, here's the good news. Nobody else in Delray has ever done what Anthony Penn has done so far. Nobody has won a state championship from Delray. Anthony Penn in 1969 won the last one.
You know, they didn't. The state of Florida didn't start taking statistics and including all black schools on the records until 1966.
Right.
And that was my sophomore year, and we almost made it to the playoff that year. Almost.
That's something, man. And that's something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
We had some fantastic players. I want to say one thing. I'm gonna shut up. Now, Coach Coffey, I don't know. You all played for Coach Coffey. You know, he used to beat our butts with a board. Y'all get that? He actually beat our butts until one day I said, I'm not going to practice. And I noticed the whole team was at Pompey Park now in Delray, Team Town Center. The whole team was there with me. That's what y'all doing here. So you ain't going to practice? We're not going. I ain't going. He don't hit me with the board no more. So, you know how he walked like this here?
Right.
He came out in this little bug. There's a boat playing. Y'all supposed to be to practice? They looked and said, I'm not going to practice. Why? I said, my daddy don't beat me. He talked to me and tell me to do something. He never did it again.
Right. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. But the whole team quit, and I said, "There's something here, man." I did it.
They followed you.
Following you, yeah.
That's great, man. That's great. Well, listen, guys, we got to do this again. You know, we don't have that long to finish the show, but you know, man, thank you guys for taking your time to come on the show. Mark, I know you're busy, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Mark, you've always been a part of our family. You know, especially when you got the right mind and you start coaching, everything got real good. And I got to tell you this, man. My senior year at Florida State, we played Memphis State in Memphis. And I know I've been reading about it all week, but it just hit me when I got in the defensive huddle and Tom was in the other huddle on the other side. Got out and watched football since the Delray Rock. Now we're playing against each other in college.
Right.
And I'm looking at him like, man, he done made it. He made it.
Oh man, that was an experience.
Oh, you better do your job today. So if you don't want on your day, you ain't gonna be able to go back home.
That was good, man.
Yeah. So look, guys, I love you guys. Omar, thank you for your time, man.
No, thank you.
Really appreciate it, man. You lit it up, man. You set the bar high. You know,
Yes, sir.
I think in this generation, with what they're doing in the quarterback position, we set the bar high. You know, we didn't have the opportunity to throw the ball that way, but we played in our time and we did well and we enjoyed the position. Hey, listen, guys, it's been a pleasure. Hey, welcome. Listen, guys, let me say this. If you like this video, comment on it, share. This is 100 Yards of Football, and I got the legends, the quarterback legends from Delray High School, Atlantic, Carver High, and Boca High. Gentlemen, thank you again for being on the show. Love all you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah,
God bless.
Be safe.
Always.
All right.